save this. Interview's starting. Okay, get it together, Sophie. Get it together. Hi, and welcome back to Belfry Gem Books. Today we have a very special guest on the show. While she's currently a full-time writer, she's also dedicated years to helping countless survivors of domestic abuse and child abuse, guiding them to safety, healing, and recovery. Please welcome to the show, Brooklyn Kerr.
Hi, Sophie. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited you're here. I can't wait to hear about your upcoming rom-com holiday novella, I'll Be Green for Christmas. Love the title, by the way. It's perfect. I love the entire premise where a woman dyes her skin green for Halloween to play Alphabet in a musical, and then the dye is excessively long-lasting, and so by the time Christmas time comes around, she's still green, and that's when she runs into a guy she hasn't seen since high school. And that's when sparks fly, of course. I don't have a witch's hat or green face paint, but I am wearing a shirt that's sort of Wizard of Oz, Dorothy-esque.
Yes, I love it. It's so on theme.
So I know that while your upcoming Christmas novella is a cheerful, spicy rom-com, your other books explore some darker themes where the characters go through some pretty difficult situations. I'm particularly intrigued because your specific background gives you a unique perspective and deeper insight into overcoming trauma and finding healing. I heard that you spent years helping survivors of domestic abuse and child abuse. Can you tell me more about it?
Absolutely. I worked at a legal aid program where we helped a lot of people who were trying to get away from domestic violence, where they were concerned about their children's safety in the household, where they were concerned about their own safety in a household, or were concerned about the way they were being treated in a household, so gaslighted or manipulated, forced to give money, forced to do things they didn't want to do. So I was there to help with a lot of different angles of things for domestic violence. It's very rarely just a matter of getting a protection order. That's just scratching the surface. There are things like landlord-tenant issues that can come up when they've left their abuser and they have a place of their own. Now they need to know how to handle things as a tenant. There could be issues with financial issues. There could be issues with bills. There could be issues with, family law, child custody, things like that. So as a legal aid attorney, I helped a lot of different people in a lot of different situations. And then later on, I was also the executive director of a child advocacy center in which I helped children who were facing various struggles at home. Sometimes it was physical abuse, sometimes it was sexual abuse. But I interviewed almost 200 children to help them tell their stories so that they were able to get the assistance that they needed.
Wow. I'm just blown away. Sorry, I didn't expect to cry. But wow. The world needs more people like you.
That's very kind. It is amazing how many people are still in the process of helping survivors of domestic abuse, helping people get out of bad situations, and child advocacy centers that continue to do this amazing work for victims of child abuse or suspected child abuse.
I mean, when I read on your author bio that you've worked with victims of domestic abuse and child abuse, there are no words. What you just shared makes me think of one of my closest family friends. growing up, she was like an aunt to me, the sweetest, most loving person ever. You know, we'd go to her house and she'd bake us cookies. She helped me learn how to French braid my hair, things like that. The sweetest, most loving person ever. But her husband was very abusive, and I won't go into the details, but he made it very difficult for her to leave. She felt so trapped because she was trapped, and she was trapped, and then one day I got a phone call that she had passed away after a particularly bad abusive episode. The stress was it was too much for her. It was too much, and she had a massive stroke and passed away, leaving behind 3 children.
I'm so sorry you lost your aunt in such a devastating way.
Thank you.
Domestic abuse does affect more than just the people that are being hurt. It affects an entire family, and my heart goes out to you.
Thank you, Brooklyn. When I hear about your previous work, I really wish that my aunt had had access to such help. Like, she was so isolated because her husband made it that way. I really wish she'd had access to such help. If she'd had the help and support to escape and find healing, like, things might be different.
There are a lot of programs now that are able to help those who are affected by domestic violence, and I encourage anyone who might be going through it or concerned that they might be going through it to seek out advice from domestic violence programs. You don't have to go into shelter to access the resources and the help that they have. If you're not sure if you're in a domestic violence situation, but you're concerned about your safety for various reasons, whether it's financial security or that you're concerned about the amount of control being asserted over you, talk to someone. It can't hurt to reach out and find out from a legal aid program what your legal rights are. It can't hurt to find out from a shelter whether you are being abused in a certain situation, whether your control is being taken away from you in a way that puts you at risk either financially or physically. It's also a good idea to reach out to other people and continue to be involved with family and friends. If you're not able to do that, chances are you do need to talk to a domestic violence advocate or a legal aid program. All you have to do is do a quick Google search for those. Just make sure that you clear your history, or make sure that you go to a site where you can click off of that site very quickly, or use a public site or a friend's phone. It's very important to protect your safety. If you think that you're in a controlling type situation, make sure that you are protecting your own self by reaching out in ways that are not going to alert your abuser.
I'm just like, that is such good advice, especially about like clearing your browser history or using a friend's phone to make sure not to alert your abuser. Like, that is really, really good advice, and it's not something that I would have thought of. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope that this video helps anyone who might be in this situation. Like, are there some resources or organizations that you would recommend to someone who might be going through abuse or is trying to heal and recover from abuse?
Absolutely. There are resources in several different places. There is a national hotline for domestic violence. It's a good place to start. It's a toll-free number, 1-800-799-7233. There's also legal aid programs. You can find your local legal aid program by just doing a simple search on any search engine. You can either put in your specific state. A lot of times they will have information for you online where you could call in, but you don't have to call in if you're not sure that you want to. There are many websites out there that will talk about the indicators of domestic abuse. If you're not sure that you're in that type of situation, or you don't want to be thinking that you're in that type of situation, but you want to know, you wouldn't have to call anyone at all. You can run a simple search and find out. But again, be careful if you're running searches. Do it on someone else's device or a public device, or make sure that you delete that user history.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm really just blown away. And I know that why am I still crying? Oh my God. I know that we're here to talk about your Christmas novella, which is a rom-com. It's like a happy, sweet and spicy Christmas novella, which we will get back to. But before that, I really want to ask, because I know that while your novella, I'll Be Green for Christmas, is cheerful, second chance romance, sweet and spicy holiday rom-com, a lot of your other books, you write thrillers and suspense books, and I'm curious, when you write your books, whether it is a rom-com or a thriller or a romantic suspense book, what message do you want to share with readers? If there is one lesson or piece of advice you hope readers will take away from your books, what would it be?
There are a few things that I hope that readers take away from my books, and the first one is how important mental health representation is in books. Now, the other thing to take away from all of this is that there is a happy ending that's possible for everyone who has gone through a bad experience. Just because something happened earlier in life doesn't mean that that's the end. That's never the end of the story. It's just the beginning. There is healing. There is hope. There is moving forward toward a future, maybe with the person that is your person for the rest of your life, or maybe someone to help you get through a difficult time. But my books have a happy ending for a few reasons. First of all, I needed them. After working with victims of violence for so long, I needed to see the happy endings. Sometimes I didn't. I didn't always get to stick through an entire case with someone. Sometimes they decided to leave. Sometimes they decided to do things differently, or they were in a different office and I helped in the beginning of their case, but their case was transferred to someone else. So I didn't always get to see the happy ending. But I want people who have been through bad experiences earlier on in life to understand that it's not the end. It's not the end. You can work through your issues, you can get to the other side of it, and you can feel better and find happiness later in life.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I've conducted interviews before and I've never cried. This is embarrassing. But I'm pretty open about it, but I struggle with really severe post-traumatic stress disorder, complex PTSD, and just to hear that there is a happy ending, that I can have that I can hope for that is, man, I really needed to hear that. Thank you so much for including that in your books, because that is a really powerful message. And I know I really needed to hear that. And I know that there are so many people out there who needed to hear it too. So, like, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Gosh, I don't know why I can't stop crying. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is like this is an interview about a rom-com. I'm so feeling. Okay. So I feel like I need to lighten the mood by jumping in and reading the blurb for the Christmas novella, because I swear it is a happy book. It is it is a happy, cheerful, sweet, and spicy Christmas novella. So please let me take a moment and read you the book and show you this adorable cover. So the book is called I'll Be Green for Christmas, a spicy Christmas novella. When it's Halloween and Ivy is set to play Elphaba in her community production of Wicked, she dyes her skin green for the role. However, when the production is over and her skin is still green, no matter how many showers she takes, Ivy finds out that the dye was recalled for being excessively long-lasting. Derek is a single father of Lila, his 10-year-old daughter who loves the theater. When Derek and Ivy's eyes meet again at the musical, the first time since high school, sparks fly between them. Losing more holiday spirit with every green joke, Ivy grumbles her way through life while trying to adjust to her new reality. But how will she be able to face the world now that she's green? How could she even consider a relationship with Derek if she can't look herself in the mirror? How can Ivy regain her sense of holiday spirit even if she wanted to? Find out in this sweet and spicy Christmas romantic comedy novella that will take you on a journey to the fictional town of Claret, Illinois, where everyone loves the theater, the fall festival never disappoints, and traditions bring families together. That sounds so amazing. I can't wait for it to come out. It's coming out on December 16th. So Brooklyn, where can readers get your books?
My books are available on the Zon as well as free on Kindle Unlimited. There are ebooks as well as paperbacks, and the paperbacks have lovely interior designing. So if you're a paperback girl and you really enjoy that, absolutely check those out.
Awesome. I can't wait to check it out. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on my show. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you for having me, Sophie. I had a wonderful time.
Please do keep in touch and give Sawyer, who by the way is Brooklyn's adorable golden retriever, give Sawyer a hug for me.
I'd love to keep in touch, and give Annie and Belle a hug for me.
Will do. I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.
Bye.
Wow, that was... Wow. I'm blown away. I really am. One last exciting note. We are running a special limited time schmiveaway where you can win I'll Be Green for Christmas, a sweet and spicy Christmas rom-com novella. You can win a paperback by entering my schmiveaway, which I will link right here. You don't want to miss out. And if you could do me a favor, please like and leave a comment on this video because it helps with engagement. Thank you again for tuning in, and until next time, bye!